Hey, look around you for just a second. We live in a world that is absolutely obsessed with physical things, right? The gadgets we buy, the buildings we construct, all that solid matter we can touch and feel. We completely equate existence with what is physically right there in front of us. But what if our fundamental understanding of reality is entirely backward? What if the true driver of the universe isn't the solid stuff we can actually see, but the empty space we can't? Well, in this explainer, we're going to dive into a mind-bending paradox, a 2,500-year-old text that claims nothingness is actually the universe's primary engine. So there's this really fascinating tension going on here. On one side, we have being, physical matter, solid structures, the visible foundation of our everyday lives. And then, on the exact opposite side, we have nothingness, the void, empty space, the invisible engine. We're going to explore how ancient Eastern philosophy and cutting-edge modern physics have somehow arrived at the exact same breathtaking conclusion. What we cannot see might just be infinitely more powerful than what we can. And honestly, the classic yin-yang symbol perfectly visualizes this necessary balance. The visible and the invisible aren't just opposites fighting each other. They're a dynamic, totally interconnected harmony. The solid white literally needs the empty black to exist, and vice versa. It's essentially a visual map of reality, and we are about to decode it using some very modern science. To do that, we'll quickly run through 5 key areas today: the power of nothingness, cosmic structure through the metaphor of a wheel, atomic structure via a vessel, the quantum vacuum as a room, and finally, how the void is the ultimate engine. Okay, let's jump right into part 1, the power of nothingness in Laozi's chapter 11. Moving to part 2, the wheel and cosmic structure. Let's start by zooming all the way out to the macroscopic edge of the universe. Lao Tzu actually presents a brilliant map of the cosmos here, disguised as simple poetry. He writes, 30 spokes share the wheel's hub. It is the center hole that makes it useful. Now, think about a classic wooden cartwheel for a second. You've got the solid rim and the wooden spokes. But for the wheel to actually turn, for it to function as a wheel at all, its absolute center must be a completely empty hole where the axle goes. The motion of all those solid parts is entirely dependent on that empty void right in the middle. And you know what? That brilliantly illustrates exactly what astrophysicists see when they look at galactic dynamics. When we look up at the night sky, we see this incredible macroscopic order, billions of stars rotating in these stunning spiral galaxies. But what's actually driving that motion? Well, it's definitely not the stars themselves. Just like the empty hub of that ancient wheel, sitting right at the center of our Milky Way galaxy, is a supermassive black hole. It's a region of extreme space-time distortion, a profound, absolute cosmic void. This invisible, seemingly empty center acts as the gravitational axis. It's the hub that keeps hundreds of billions of stars, the spokes, rotating in perfect, beautiful harmony. The void is literally what's driving the cosmic motion. Let's shift gears to part 3, the vessel and atomic structure. Descending from that massive, staggering scale of the galaxy right down to the everyday objects you're touching right now, Lao Tzu gives us his second metaphor. Need clay to make a vessel. It is the empty space within that makes it useful. Think of a beautifully crafted clay bowl or a water pitcher. A craftsman works incredibly hard to shape that clay, but the clay itself isn't what makes the bowl valuable. It's the empty space the clay encloses that allows it to actually hold your water or your food. Now, it's wild to realize this, but that ancient pottery metaphor is a perfectly accurate description of the atomic building blocks of our physical world. When we look closely at atomic structure, we find the exact same dynamic of the clay and the vessel. Get ready for this, because it absolutely blows my mind every single time. If you were to zoom all the way in on the atoms making up your body, the chair you're sitting on, or the screen you're looking at right now, modern physics tells us that 99.999% of an atom is entirely empty space. So that physical matter we're so totally obsessed with, the nucleus, the electrons, it acts merely as a structural shell. It's just the clay. It provides a boundary. But the ability of atoms to bond, to form molecules, to create the sheer incredible diversity of the physical world around us, that relies completely on that vast internal emptiness. Literally, without the void, physical matter just could not function or interact at all. That brings us to part 4, the room and the quantum vacuum. For our final descent, we're going to shrink right past the atomic level and dive headfirst into the mind-bending depths of the quantum field. Here's Laozi's third and final metaphor. Cut out doors and windows to make a room. It is the empty space inside that makes it livable. Think about it. A room is technically defined by its solid walls, its floor, its ceiling. But it's the empty space inside that provides the actual arena for life, for movement, for existence itself. Okay, when it comes to the ultimate fabric of reality, we've got to shatter a massive illusion right here. For the longest time, we thought of a vacuum in space as just a dead, boring, quiet nothingness, just a blank canvas where absolutely nothing is happening. But science tells us that is entirely wrong. Which naturally brings up a pretty fascinating question. If the seemingly empty room you're sitting in right now, like literally the empty space between you and your screen, isn't truly empty, what is actually hiding in the void? Welcome to the quantum vacuum art. In quantum field theory, space itself is the ultimate room, and it is definitely not a void of nothingness. It is a highly dynamic, hyperactive field that is literally boiling with what physicists call zero-point energy. It's constantly buzzing. Virtual particles are popping in and out of existence every single microsecond. This empty room actually holds the infinite potential to birth all matter and energy in the cosmos. Space itself is the active ingredient of reality. Finally, part 5, the void is the engine. Pulling all 3 of these dimensional scales back together, Laozi concludes chapter 11 with this incredibly profound truth. Therefore, being brings benefit, but nothingness brings usefulness. It's honestly the perfect summary of the relationship between physical structures and space. The being gives us a framework, sure, but the nothingness is what actually makes the whole universe work. Putting it all together, over 2,500 years ago, Laozi mapped out the macro scale of galactic dynamics using the wheel. He mapped the micro scale of atomic structure using the vessel, and he captured the foundational reality of the quantum vacuum using the room. He somehow intuitively understood that the underlying mechanics of reality operate the exact same way across every single physical scale. And this brings us to the real aha moment of this whole explainer. Solid physical matter, all that stuff we can see, touch, and measure, is really just the tool. It's just the visible foundation. But it's the underlying void, the empty space within the atom, the gravitational void of a supermassive black hole, the boiling energy of the quantum vacuum, that is the true engine. The void is actively driving the universe's infinite energy. So, I leave you with this. The next time you look up at the seemingly empty night sky, or honestly, even just look at the empty space sitting in your room right now, I want you to remember, you are not looking at nothingness. You are staring directly at the invisible engine of the cosmos. The true protagonist of the universe has been hiding right in plain sight this whole time. Keep learning, keep questioning everything around you, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.